Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Buddhist Temple of Toledo. Please be seated and turn in your liturgy books to page 2. Gata of Atonement. All evil karma ever committed by me, sins of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought. Now I atone for it all evil karma ever committed by me, sins of old on Nikaya 3 Refuges. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Sangham Saranam Gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in Sangha. The 5 remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. This precious human life, rarely encountered, is easily lost. Now that I have life and opportunity, may I practice the Dharma wholeheartedly. Mahayana Refuge. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. Invocation of the lineage. I give thanks for the guidance of my teachers, for the lineage of teachers before them. I give thanks and offerings for their devoted practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyful effort, concentration, wisdom, skillful means, unshakable vow, spiritual powers, and awakened awareness for my benefit. May their years of life be lengthened, may their vows be completely realized, and may I cultivate these perfections with their guidance. 7 practices of the Bodhisattva. I bow down in body, speech, and mind. I offer the best I have to give, both real and imagined, to fill the space between us. I regret and purify all transgressions. I rejoice in all virtues. I request you to remain until total enlightenment. I request wise and compassionate guidance. I dedicate my merit for the sake of all beings. Generating love and compassion. May all sentient beings be free from clinging and hatred. Being close to some and distant from others, how wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from clinging and hatred. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them happiness and the causes of happiness. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will free them from suffering and the causes of suffering. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings have the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from clinging, hatred, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride, wrong view, ignorance, and dualistic thoughts. How wonderful it would be. May this be accomplished. I will bring them to this state. Bless me to accomplish this. Please stand for the Enmei Juku Kanan Gyo on page 6 of your liturgy book. Enmei Juku Kanan Gyo Kanze An Namu Butsuyo Butsu En Yo Butsu En Uho So En Jo Raku Gajo Chonen Kanze An Bonen Kanzeyan Nen Nen Jushin Ki kanzeyan, bonen kanzeyan, nen jushin ki, nen fuishin kanzeyan, namu butsu yo, butsu in yo, butsu en, boko so en, jo raku ga jo, chonen kanzeyan, bonen kanzeyan, nen jushin ki, nen furishin, absorbing world sounds awakens a Buddha right here. This Buddha, the source of compassion. This Buddha receives only compassion. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, just compassion. Thus the pure heart always rejoices. In the light recall this, in the dark recall this, moment after moment the true heart arises. Time after time there is nothing but this absorbing world sounds awakens a Buddha right here. This Buddha, the source of compassion. This Buddha receives only compassion. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, just compassion. Thus the pure heart always rejoices. In the light recall this, in the dark recall this, moment after moment the true heart arises. Time after time there is nothing but this absorbing world sounds awakens a Buddha right here. This Buddha, the source of compassion. This Buddha receives only compassion. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, just compassion. Thus the pure heart always rejoices. In the light recall this, in the dark recall this, moment after moment the true heart arises. Time after time there is nothing but this. Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. All that is and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We offer this sincere and devoted practice for the many beings of the six worlds and dedicate it in grateful thanks to the strength and sound practice of the great Heartland Sangha and its teachers. May our virtuous actions be clear from all interferences, and may our vows be fully realized. We especially dedicate these merits to all those who suffer as a result of injustices, calamity, cruelty, and war, and to those whose names we hold aloud, I beg your pardon, those whose names we now read aloud: Kaijin, Stephen, Sister Suzette, Charles, Reverend Eugen, Roger, and Anna. May they have peace and healing. And Marie, John, Gabby, and Tommy at the times of their death. And may they have, and to those whose names we hold in the silence of our hearts, and those whose names we now voice aloud. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize the Buddha way together. All Thank you, everyone. Dharma school students and teachers may exit the Zendo, and everyone else, please prepare for Zazen. We will now recite Sangha Covenant, which can be found in your liturgy book on page 8. We, the Daishin Kokuji Sangha, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with wonder at the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. Please be seated, and we will recite the Gatha on opening the sutra when our teacher is ready. Please be seated so you can make eye contact with the teacher. Gatha on opening the sutra. The Dharma incomparably profound and infinitely sublime.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for choosing to be here. It's amazing how lucky, fortunate, blessed, well thought through, perhaps even in some ways we are, that the Zendo has these amazing windows around it, right? And perhaps you join me in welcoming the light, the sun. I'm not happy about the time change per se. It cost me dearly today. But nonetheless, having the sun and being able to meditate and practice in a place where we have contact with the seasons, it's quite extraordinary. You may not know, but it's quite common in many Soto or Zendo to actually sit in something like a basement. And if there are, it doesn't have to be underground, but the feeling is like you're in a basement. It's like the walls are fairly high, and the windows, if there are any, are these kind of slots up at the top, just enough to let a little light through, but it's really quite cavernous feeling. And that's a choice we didn't make, Thought about it. We thought about it. It is a traditional way to do things. But on balance, our temple is a very serious place of training and practice that very much affirms the world and all of its glory and terror, but is open to and porous and connects with the world. Not that those other Zendos don't in any way. But for us, feeling the seasons, we're so lucky to have this pedestrian walkway here. We hear the city come to life. We hear the sounds of nature. We hear old folks' bodies creak, when they try to say hello. Hi, creak. We hear the young people, squeal and whatever they do as they try to find themselves, and it's delightful, the whole thing. So I delight in the sounds of our temple this morning. I delight in the beauty of the vision of you being here and of the season pouring through into this moment. The smell of the incense is quite dear to me, perhaps to you as well. Perhaps you're allergic to it, in which case not so dear. And the taste of the meal that some of us will share, everyone's invited, welcome, encouraged. But what it is to feel your body in this delicious symphony of reality, and to notice how it feels, and to have your thoughts be noble and clear and helpful, please. It's amazing. Anyway, let's talk about liturgy. Let's talk about ritual. One of the things that's important to understand in a way that's, helpful is this business about religion and spirituality. This is a very common theme. Many folk have come to a perhaps wise conclusion that they are spiritual but not religious. Many folks are in fact religious but not spiritual. And both of the terms are quite problematic in their own sense. The way I use it, spirits aren't necessarily the focus of spirituality per se. We're not binding things together as such in religion's terms. But I think if we understand this, spirituality, the way I would like us to use the term, or at least a way for you to consider using the term, has to do with your own individual experience of awakening, your own subjective, very personal encounter with equanimity and compassion and wisdom and the skillfulness or lack thereof with which we meet our lives. That's our spirituality, and that is yours, baby. That is your personal, unique experience of this particular wisdom tradition of your life, let's say. Now, the religious component, yes, it's organized, but why is it organized? It's organized because it's the communal expression. It's the communal affirmation and deepening and manifestation of that individual experience, you see. So the spirituality, we could say, I would say, is one's own individual experience of wisdom. And the religious part, quote unquote, is the tribe. It's the community of folk that also are working with and expressing and encountering the same heart of wisdom. And so when we gather together, we have to negotiate. We have to negotiate together and figure out how shall we be together, right? How ought I be is one thing. What am I? And then how ought we be together? And what are we is another thing, right? So thus spirituality and what I would say religion. See? So rather than a means of a social control or domination or whatever other negative connotation, which justly applies in many cases, I have to be frank, right? If it's healthy, which it can be, then it has to do with this business of manifesting and expressing, experiencing and encountering, embodying, actualizing. And actualizing what? What is it that's actualized? You see, it's not simply a matter of thinking it through correctly, gathering intellectual insights. They will only go so far. They're good, but they're only so good. Necessary, but not sufficient, I would say. The same thing with feelings. It's nice to have a good feeling, right? I prefer it to the alternatives by a long shot. And let's be frank, there is a healthy quality of devotion and awe or inspiration, say, that is an integral component of one's spiritual life in some form that resonates and makes sense and actually is true for you. And different of us are wired differently in slight ways, and so the toggle may move a little bit here or there. But essentially, feelings themselves are also insufficient. Your awakening in Zen practice does not depend on you having a bunch of Zen feelings somehow, or having corralling yourself into some sentimental state and holding yourself there. Again, feelings of devotion, say, or awe, encountering the numinous, they're necessary but not sufficient, you see. So one of the aspects that needs to be addressed is the body. The body, right? And this body in relationship with other bodies. When we gather together, there's an energy to the Sangha when we assemble in a gathering of practitioners, a gathering of noble friends, practicing together, manifesting together reality itself. This is not an idea set. This is an embodied experience. In this way, I would say it's something quite magical, something quite perhaps shamanistic, something perhaps a little deeper than what simply logic can get to. It's not even about emotions, per se. This magical experience, and I use the word deliberately, consciously, this shamanistic, this in the bones being in presence with each other, that somehow words kind of get in the way, but when used skillfully, bring to life. So here we come to the business of skillfulness or not skillful. You see, if you notice very carefully in the liturgy, if you you're not going to get this at first encounter, I know, but if you hang with this, and this is at all interesting enough to you to hang for a while, then I encourage you to pay attention to what actually gets said. There's a great teaching in the sutras that said you should take the Dharma and treat it as though you're buying gold in the market. You want to bite it, smell it, test it, really make sure this is actually gold before you trade anything for it. You want to be a wise consumer, so to speak, right? You want to invest wisely. You want to test for yourself thoroughly everything that's going down here. Take nothing just because some bearded dude up on an altar says it. Hell no. No. If this whole game we're playing right now has any use at all, it's simply to bring your attention to things that the lineage, which is all I am, I'm simply one very minor, frankly, expression of this wondrous lineage. The lineage, the teachings of the Buddha has things that are saying, dear one, please pay attention to this. That's all. But you're the one who has to pay the attention. You're the one who needs to test this thoroughly. Keep your critical thinking engaged, please. Keep your feet very much on the ground. And yet, be willing to jump into the shamanistic journey of not knowing everything and not having everything figured out and not having everything in a little box in your mind or in your heart or in your body. Because here we come to the actual truth of the mystic, that the mystery, the mystic, the truth, the actual truth of things cannot be known in this way. There are many things you can know and should know. Some things, however, will not fit into that little box of you knowing it. Have you noticed this yet? And yet, we come together. And when we make our rituals together, we make our liturgies, these are recognizable forms. They've been handed down. And frankly, every generation, every century or two, these things have to be revisited. They have to be retooled. The tires have to be kicked. Does this tire actually fit this terrain that we're in now? And so, of course, when you look at the long arc of Buddhist liturgy and ritual and practice, we see many, many beautiful, diverse expressions. I enjoy them all. Some more than others resonate with our day and life, but they all express the same heart of wisdom with no conflict whatsoever. And yet, and still, we have to make decisions. How shall we do it here? What will we do together? How will we express, manifest this practice? And so harmony. So this is the business. It's not just the folks who have the obvious liturgy positions that have liturgy positions. It's not just the fools who became ordained. It's not just the sucker who got roped into being the Eno or the instrumentalist or the percussionist, right? The foolhardy folks who are going to come up here in front of everyone and drop off a drink. No, it's not just those. Actually, every one of us has the central liturgy position. Your experience of this liturgy, you are in the absolute center of. Okay? So fill your seat and enjoy it. See, you're not simply a passive kind of witness or consumer of. You are manifesting and expressing the liturgy yourself. Even if, honestly, your first day in, you don't know what's going down, and some helpful person puts some words in front of you, and you're kind of trying to figure out where we are. That's perfect. That is your expression of the liturgy. You're crushing it, man. Good job. Really, honestly, for true. All the way up to the person who's done this the most and still gets disoriented. So this business of flowing together with the liturgy, right? Ideally, you have a sense of yourself in the center. And then as the liturgy deepens and opens, that sense of self and center and periphery erodes and dissolves. And the whole thing simply becomes one. Really? Is the Eno up there and you're down there? I'm not so sure about that. I don't know that. I don't know about that. What's happening? Is there really a difference between you and they? Or can we, for at least a moment, can we please drop these boundaries and these lines and these identities, which actually need to be honored most times, but not for this moment. For this moment, can we simply just become the liturgy itself? Can we become the chant, say? And let's be very clear, this is not about, signing off to some list of unprovable truth claims, checking your intelligence at the door. Please not. In fact, no. But rather, this is a way of us coming together and expressing the teachings of the tradition to ourselves. You see, one of the durable things about community life is that we have totems, we have rites and rituals, we have these, costuming, I suppose you could call it. We have ritual garb, there's smells, there's bells, there's robes, there's bowing. Why all this stuff? What the heck is going on? What's going on is we are inheriting and embodying and transmitting ancient wisdom from our ancestors. That's what's going on. I mean, the very robes I'm swaddled in here. I mean, the okesa, this outer toga-looking part, this component of this thing I'm in here, this has its etymology really in the Buddha's day. It's very, very clear that the Buddha's disciples then and now have always had some variant or version of this exact garment. In fact, you see the Buddhist bibs around. These are called raksu. They're exactly the same as this. They're just shrunk a little bit for convenience. That's all. There's only one robe. So this is from India. Indic tradition inheritance. This ridiculous sleeve, completely impractical. In fact, it's impractical by design. It is. It is. You're not doing much of anything with tools or what all wearing one of these things. Okay, it's a Chinese ceremonial robe. We call it koromo. Probably Confucian in origin, frankly, adopted by the Taoists. Nothing like this existed in India. This is part of the Chinese inheritance. This bit, okay? You see many here wearing a gray robe. In our tradition, the gray robe marks that of a formal Zen practicing student, Sesshin student. Really, we're all students here. But the teacher wears gray too. I too am a student. Make no mistake, I'm very clear about that. I hope you are too. I still learn and grow and practice. Have those that I look to, of course. But the form of this color gray is a kimono. This is from the Japanese inheritance, right? So Indic tradition, Sino-Chinese tradition, Japanese inheritance, also juban. The boxers are Western's contribution. A complete package, so to say. But just as an example, right? Like, and this is true for everything that we see here, the altar, the way it's set up, all of these things. You're not going to just get all that in a glance, and it's not necessary to, frankly. But you want to learn you want to experience, rather, what it is to disappear the self, the small self, actually, and let express what? What is it that it's expressing? What is this harmony pointing to? What is it? When you look at a flock of birds, right? The thing moves like one organic unit. And clearly that is a flock of birds, but also it's individual birds. Which one is it? So this harmony in the movement, this is deeply nourishing for humans. This is because of how we are, how we have evolved, these food tube bodies of ours. right? So this being in communion with each other and flowing together, this is deeply nourishing and deeply human. And I frankly am I'm very concerned for a young generation of folks that misperceives pixelated flow for actual embodied flow. Perhaps you share some concern with me about this. I don't know where that goes, but I do know that it's important that there are places that still carry this ancient wisdom from the lineage, from our human lineage, and encounter ways to connect and to be with each other in ways that are wholesome and empowering and ennobling, not controlling or brainwashing or whatever negative thing, which it can be, but the wholesome, healthy, helpful, nourishing experiences. I mean, I can remember when I first encountered Zen liturgy, Mahayana Buddhist liturgy, you know, and this sort of, and I was like, what the hell is happening here? I was acclimated to something else. Kyrie eleison. This was my way in. Also very beautiful, also very, very deep. Chanting in this way, very lovely, very ethereal, right? Does Zen corner the market on this stuff? No. But somewhere you have to pick a band and play in it, as I say, right? There is something very specific about the way we do things, as fond as I am of the old ways in the Western Latin tradition, which were obliterated, by the way. By the time I started, it was all sandals and guitars, but that's a different thing. But this feeling that we have, right? This groundedness, our liturgy relentlessly brings us not up to the tips of the cathedral spire, but actually right here under your feet, right here under your sits bones. Be right here, right now. This is the thing. Quit copping out. There is no escape. You know? Abandon hope of eggs. What a consoling message, you know? But actually it is. It is. So this is very important, this ability to actually listen deeply and to merge with what's happening. Whether it's, you know, you've been here a time or two, or you've been here for decades, right? Every time that liturgy happens, we all come together and manifest this. We express, what is this? What is it that's manifested? What is it that is expressed? Well, the Lankavatara says it like this. The Tathagata's nirvana is where the manifestation of noble wisdom, that is Buddhahood, expresses itself in perfect love for all. The Tathagata's nirvana is where the manifestation of noble wisdom, that is Buddhahood, expresses itself in perfect love for all. And the Tathagata's nirvana is where the manifestation of perfect love, that is Tathagatahood, expresses itself in noble wisdom for the enlightenment of all. The Tathagata's nirvana is where the manifestation of perfect love that is Tathagatahood expresses itself as noble wisdom for the enlightenment of all. So manifesting noble wisdom. Manifesting noble wisdom. What's going on with the I mean, actually everything is manifesting noble wisdom all the time. There is nothing outside it. And yet, in a very particular way, in a way that's particularly helpful in empowering this manifesting of noble wisdom, expressing truth claims you can never disprove. No. Expressing adherence to the one true sect. No. Expressing conformity to the will of the lineage and teachers. Hell no. What is it expressing? Perfect love. Perfect love. And that's not some hippie rendering. That's what the sutra actually says, as best English can render it. Perfect love. Is that loving thoughts? Is it loving feels? What is it? Manifesting perfect love, expressing noble wisdom. It's quite something, this teaching. The penultimate paragraph of the entire sutra actually is this. I think actually the last paragraph is a footnote. We'll get to that later. This kind of really is the conclusion. Manifesting noble wisdom. Manifesting is ultimate reality as it is appearing. That's manifesting. So actually, when that beautiful, gorgeous bell goes, wah, when the instrumentalist brings it, wouldn't that make a great Muppet? I could totally see some Jim Henson-inspired monkey Muppet. Anyway, when that thing hits, I leave you with this image, yes. when that hits, right, it's ultimate reality as it is appearing. Yes, it is. The sound of that temple bell is exactly that. Yes, everything is. I know, I hope you do. Don't know too much about that. But for sure, that sound of the temple bell manifesting, meaning ultimate reality as it is appearing, noble wisdom. And what does that noble wisdom do? It expresses. Expression. This is compassionate action. This is what flows from wisdom. Wisdom doesn't just sit there and like chill. Wisdom sees that there's work to be done. These big sleeves have to be rolled up. There's things that need tending to. Perhaps you've noticed the world, the day, your life, your kids, your parents. Compassionate action flowing from realized wisdom. This is expressing. So manifesting, ultimate reality as it is appearing. That ultimate reality expressing the compassionate action that flows from it. Expressing what? Perfect love. What happens then? Also, manifesting perfect love. Ultimate reality as it is appearing. Perfect love as it is appearing. No revelation needed. It's right here, always has been. Rather than revelation, it's realization. Simply realize what's inherent. There's no veil between you and reality other than your own delusion. That one takes some work, but it's right here. You don't need some anointed arbiter, some conduit between you and reality. No, you don't. Perhaps a helpful guide along the way of your own self-realization. Yeah, let's be honest. We all need that. I certainly did and do. But what's realized is inherent. It's intimate. It's immediate. It's never been separate. So ultimate reality as it is appearing, perfect love. Gong. And what does that do? It expresses the compassionate action that flows from this. It expresses noble wisdom for the enlightenment of all beings throughout space and time. See, perfect love is not contained. It's not just folks on my side of the line that count. All beings throughout space and time, importantly, dear one, including yourself, very significantly, including yourself. The manifestation of noble wisdom that is Buddhahood expresses itself in perfect love for all. It is Tathagatahood, thusness, suchness, expressing itself in noble wisdom, prajna, for the enlightenment of all. There indeed is nirvana. So when we come together and we put the cushions in a certain way and we come and go in a certain way, that matters. That matters. That is, for now, for us, a very particular expression of this perfected love. It's everywhere. There's infinite expressions, and yet we gather and manifest this one for the sake of all beings throughout space and time. May it be so.
To end them, Dharma, Dharma, gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our service for today. And we invite everyone who cares to do so to stay for a common meal in the community hall. But first, are there announcements?
My name is Shokai. Two announcements. Tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, we'll be hosting the multi-faith community for the Blessings of Diversity service at 6 o'clock from 6 to 7. And we'll have practitioners from 9 wisdom traditions here. If you can come a little early, a few of us are gathering around 5 to set up. It's really easy setup. And if you can stay a little bit later to restore the Zendo, that would be greatly appreciated. And starting next Sunday, there'll be the first of 3 classes on the immeasurable qualities of mind. That starts at 8:30 on Sunday morning. The focus of the first class will be metta, loving kindness, the perfect love for all. How do we practice that? We'll be doing a very classical Buddhist metta meditation, and then how do we integrate that into our lives, into this world that's on fire? How do we express the perfect love for all in these bodies?
Hi, my name is Bujo. Back to tomorrow evening's Blessings of Diversity here. If anyone is planning on doing that and participating in that, could you please come up here and talk to the two of us just very quickly immediately after service? Thank you. Immediately after announcements.
My name is Kenthe. Good morning. There are many, many things happening in the next 2 weeks, and they are listed out on the Daily Snail. So maybe take a photo of that, and I'll try to post a photo of that on Facebook also for those who are streaming. But a few things to draw attention to. One is very important. Well, they're all very important, but this one has a deadline on it, so there's a time limit. If you are interested in taking the precepts this year, the Bodhisattva vows, those applications are due like right now. So actually yesterday. So if that's something that you've been considering and you have questions, please see one of the priests to talk about that. And if you have a question about your application, please contact Enmei about that. She's the Jukai coordinator. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
And how would they do that?
How do they contact Enmei?
Yes.
Enmei. You can contact Enmei on Messenger or by email. Her name is Enmei.
And they,
Or you can talk to Kaishin, he's married to her. He'll probably see her tonight, so see Kaishin. And then please see the board. I'm sorry, the details are not in my head. Oh, I have one. I do have one. Noble Conversations. This was so great, everybody. We sat Zazen together on a Tuesday night a few weeks ago, and then we broke into small groups and had conversation about the Ango topic. And it happens online and it happens in person. And that is coming up this week on Thursday, the 14th. So if you can, please, Thursday the 14th. Yes. Please come to the temple if you're able and sit Zazen and then have conversation, or get on the Zoom, and the same thing will happen in the virtual world. So thank you. Oh, one more. Yes. I'm sorry, we had session, and so the calendar's not in my head. But yes, Doan Roshi will be teaching on Saturday morning, this Saturday, the 16th maybe it is, whatever this Saturday is. For the 14th, 9 to 12, White Tara teaching workshop, and that's open to everybody, and that'll be hybrid. So please, it's open to temple members. Please take advantage of that. That'll be a wonderful teaching for everyone. Thank you.
we all this time?
What's that?
We all set?
We'll see.
Okay. Please